Hello, I'm Tim Loughton, Member of Parliament for East Worthing and Shore, and I've just got a short update on the situation around fair funding for schools, the government's consultation on how we have a national funding formula that gives a much fairer share of the cake for our schools, and particularly those in West Sussex. We all know the problem. For many years, West Sussex schools have been right at the bottom of the pile, and on average, a pupil in a school in my constituency elsewhere in West Sussex gets about £4,200 a year. If you're lucky enough to be in an equivalent school in somewhere like Islington, Tower Hamlets in London, that figure is more than 7,000. That gap is too big. So the government has committed to coming in with a fair funding formula, a national formula for the first time. That is to be welcomed. The problem is, so far, the proposals it's been putting forward in the consultations don't cut the mustard. The consultation closed last week, March the 22nd, and the government's now looking at all the responses to that consultation and will then come back with its proposals over the next few months. Firstly, I want to say thank you to all the parents who copied me in their submissions to that consultation exercise. I know the online consultation document wasn't particularly user-friendly. I encouraged parents to write their own letters saying why, in practical terms, their children's school were being hit and were losing out on various things. That's the most powerful thing, and to give me that information and other Sussex MPs is really helpful. So thank you for that. Now, the problem with the consultation is that the new formula on which the government consulted doesn't go nearly far enough. The proposals actually meant that a child in West Sussex would go up from 4,200 to about £4,322. A good percentage increase, but still woefully low of what we think we need to be able to run a basic school in West Sussex, and still that gap with London and other metropolitan boroughs is far too wide. This is not just a problem in West Sussex. We happen to be the worst funded shire county, but this is a problem replicated particularly in shire counties around the country. So there's been a lot of pressure on the government from me, from all the West Sussex MPs, from other MPs around the country to look again at this formula. So when the government come back with proposals in the next few months, I wouldn't be surprised, and I hope that they will be very different from the actual proposals that were put forward in this second consultation exercise. And what actually we need at the end of the day, and this is what the head teachers in West Sussex would support, is to work out what it takes basically to run a school, what it needs for the amount of pupils that are involved, and to maintain the school's structure, infrastructure, and the courses that it wants to be able to offer. And then we can argue the toss about extra weightings for deprivation, for rural sparsity considerations, and everything else. So if the government can come back with that sort of formula, then I think we might have cracked it. But in the meantime, we are under absolutely no delusion that the pressure on our schools in West Sussex is considerable. There are some serious budget shortfalls which will require some quite serious decisions to be made by head teachers and governors as to what cutbacks may have to be made. So the sooner this gets sorted, the better. All the West Sussex MPs are on side on this one. We've struck common cause with our schools, with our parents, with our teachers, all the way through here. And last week, as our formal response to the consultation, the West Sussex MPs signed a letter, it's a detailed letter, setting out what we thought the problem actually is and how best to address it, and basically that's along the lines of what I've just described. That letter is on my website for all to see. You can see the details there, and hopefully when we get a response it will reflect some of the considerations which we've been banging on about for many months now, and we set out clearly in that letter. When we get that news, I'll of course come back to you, but in the meantime I just wanted to thank everybody for all the help and the strong campaigning we've had on this issue. You have to be a little bit more patient, but I hope ultimately we will get a solution that means that we get fair funding for our pupils, our schools in West Sussex, and they shouldn't be penalised just because of where they happen to live in this pretty erratic formula that they've had to put up with for many years. I'll keep you posted on my website with further podcasts when we get further developments in this.